Hello, McFluffy52 here, back for more Magic the Gathering Arena action. Today we're playing a mono-green deck built around the creature Mossborn Hydra. This is a 3-drop Elemental Hydra with Trample. It is a 0/0 but enters with a +1 counter on it. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, you double the number of counters on this creature, so it can get pretty big pretty fast. It grows exponentially, going from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 to 32, and if you add counters on it, that will obviously speed up the process. So this green deck is really built around, well, trying to succeed as a mono green deck. So we have a mix of ramp, protection, creatures, card draw, removal, and like landfall synergies. So that's kind of the idea behind the deck. Talk more about it as we go through the games and the cards in it. But let's hop onto the rank ladder and see how we can do. Of course, if you enjoy these kinds of videos, consider subscribing. I want to say a special thanks to all the people who watch the videos. We recently hit 800 subscribers, which is super cool. And I'm particularly excited about it because it's one step closer to 1,000, which is really my goal, because YouTube gatekeeps monetization behind 1,000 subscribers. So anyways, I think this hand's keepable. We have 3 lands, so we can cast our 3 drops. We have a pretty big 2-drop here that will grow with each forest. Ozolith can allow us to grow our creatures as well, though it is a little concerning that our opponent is playing black. Mono green is a bit of a challenging color to play, just because it is, if you go to Untap GG and you go to the meta and then you select all the mono colors, mono green is consistently the worst performing. So you know, I'm gonna play the Ozolith. Let's get our non-creatures out here before they cut down the Flourishing Bloom-Kin, because it gets +1/+1 for each forest you control. It's also 0/0, but that means if I have 3 lands in the battlefield, it cannot get cut down. I guess I'll go ahead and play the Tribute to the World Tree, because that'll allow me to draw a card when I go ahead and play it, because the opponent is not necessarily killing us super fast at the moment, which is good for us. Ooh, I should have played Bristly Bill before that. Oops. Oh, play this. This should draw me a card with Tribute to the World Tree. If you control a creature with, or whenever a creature enters, if it is power 3 or greater, you draw a card. Otherwise, you put 2 counters on it. The Ozolith adds an additional counter, so it would be 3 counters technically. Another one. I guess I'll play Bristly Bill. Tempted to hold Bill though. Just because it's pretty valuable for like a Bristly Bill. It's a 1/of in this deck. It's because it's legendary. But whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1 counter on target creature. So this is part of our landfall synergies and our +1 counter synergies, and we can also pay 5 to double the number of counters on each creature you control. So if we run out of land drops, we can go ahead and pay 5 to double up the number of counters on our things, as well as our ooh. Do this. Play it, it will enter. I'll have a chance to cut it down in response. Dang it. Okay, well, I regret the order I played things, but because I could have played a land and then played Pawpatch Recruit, I just thought I was greedy, pretty much. Pawpatch Recruit, super good with the Tribute to the World Tree, because you can offspring it for 3 mana, which is really good. 3 mana things are pretty strong, or like good when you have Llanowar Elves, because you can play them on turn 2. So you can offspring this turn 2 if you have Llanowar Elves as your 1-drop on turn 1. But yeah, you get a token of it, and then that token also triggers Tribute to the World Tree. And then Pawpatch, a really good 1-drop, because it's a 1-drop 2/1 with Trample, and then whenever something gets targeted by the opponent, you get to put counters on other things you control, other creatures rather. Okay, it looks like our opponent is some sort of like wacky control deck, which is strange for mono black, but I'll just run out the Overlord. These help us to like hit more landfall triggers. Holy moly.
A fight? And you think you can win?
Alright, I'll be able to double Springbloom Druid, which is something here. That'll ramp us. Or I guess I could play the Llanowar Elves. That also ramps. I just want to get multiple creatures down so that we can dodge like single target removal here. I'm gonna hold on to one Springbloom Druid just so that we have landfall triggers that we can use to grow our Hydra if we draw one. I'll put the counters on this. We can only activate this as a sorcery, which is frankly quite annoying. But yeah. Lyanna. I guess I'll get rid of the Springbloom Druid because it makes things is not as good here. Go ahead, Hunter's Talent. This allows us to bite something, so deal damage equal to power. And then you can also level it up to draw cards and other things. I think I'll just play this. Hopefully find a land. That is a Mossborn Hydra. So Llanowar Elves will deal with Liliana and then swing to face. There's an argument here to be made to just ignore Liliana, but I don't, because then we could pretty much guarantee lethal the following turn, but no problemo. Let's go. Okay. I mean, we have a 2-drop into multiple 3-drops. Nissa is nice with these Springbloom Druids because it turns the Springbloom Druids into ramping, drawing card, because of the landfall triggers on Nissa. So we'll try keeping it. Leyline of the Void, kind of a bit wacky. I guess there are like some reanimator decks in standard, and then if you're playing like a, I don't know, Golgari sacrifice deck, that you can do something with the ley line. I mean, they can just block with the fungus and sacrifice it to draw a card and put a land onto the battlefield, but might as well make them do it. This is a very interesting 1-drop that I think is pretty good. Nothing interesting. But yeah, artifacts, enchantments, and then draw a card, then you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield for 2 additional mana. Pretty interesting rate. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna play a land here just so that we can protect Nissa from removal, so I can get the trigger. Because I can Tyvar stand if I need to give it hexproof and indestructible. We have 1 copy of this. There's a lot of 1-ofs in this deck. I meant to talk more about like the overall deck brew because it's very strange, but it's ultimately a result of this deck seemed to perform the best out of all the different variations I ended up trying, so that's how we ended up here. Play the Innkeepers. I can play the Bloom-Kin, but if the opponent's probably some sort of control deck, let's go ahead and run out the Innkeeper's talent. Pop 1 level into it so we can get ward. Pair asunder. Okay. I will live. Alright. Go ahead like this. Swing. Man, I keep on like thinking about things that I want to talk about. This deck list, I started making it. I tried out like I was about to say a dozen different versions. That's not true. 6 different versions. And then I settled on this one, which funny enough was not like the last version I made. It was actually an earlier version because well, it kind of worked. So all right, Bloom-Kin, Hunter's Talent. Target creature you control, target creature you don't control, deals damage equals its power. Goodbye, Shield Druid. I will play a land. I'll get a green mana. I'll feed that into the Scavenging Ooze. Exile their Shield Druid from the graveyard so they can't ever get it back. And we also get to gain a life and put a counter on our Ooze. Now we have a 6/6. We can give that 6/6 trample with this. Hunter's Talent really synergistic with the Bloom-Kins, to be honest. Level 2 gives them trample, so you have this massive creature that also gets +1/+0 and trample whenever you attack. Oh my goodness, we're one again. Alright, well, going back on the conversation topic I was talking about earlier, this deck was, I guess, technically it's version 3. I was 4-2 with the deck. I don't know why I kept making changes, you know. I guess I was just like, I can win more. Whenever you lose a match, you're like, okay, what can I tweak to prevent this loss in the future? What felt bad in my hand? And maybe that's sometimes not the reasonable thing to do, but we'll go ahead, Pawpatch Recruit. Go wide so that if their targeted removal is targeted, we can hopefully dodge it. Alright, I'm going to hold on to some things here. I think I might just Springbloom Druid it up and then wow, I guess we'll just swing. I don't trust that our opponent is not playing a sweeper deck. So this gets us ahead in lands. In lands, people don't tend to sweep. Opponent not countering our 1/1. Hard to believe. Interesting. So they're like full-blown control. They might be a Solemn Simulacrum or a Synthesizer deck, rather. Or they're just straight up mill. They might be mill. Right, I'll play Tribute because this develops the board, like I was saying. Not really interested in playing anything out, almost. Maybe I play a Llanowar Elves because the mana doesn't really mean much, but honestly, I'm just going to wait until they sweep. Playing patient. Not one of my strong suits, but we're trying it here. Oh my goodness, can you just die? Just die. Alright, swinging with everything. These unions of the third path, kind of obnoxious. Well, you're not very fun. Yeah, they're probably on mill, and we're probably just gonna lose. Because it's hard to be fast, I guess. I don't know. We did not draw into any of our major threats, and we drew into multiple Springbloom Druids. These, they only ramp you one land because you sacrifice one, but the fact that they put 2 lands onto the battlefield gives you 2 landfall triggers. Yep, it's mill. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, I thought they were targeting one of our creatures. That would have been funny. Oh. Okay. I really don't want to put anything to the board because I feel like they're going to sweep, but I need to, like, move their life total. I'll get Tribute back down. I think that's worth. And then I think for this turn, we're just not going to cast anything and just swing. Really trying to play around the sweeper here that apparently is never coming. I'd probably ran out the elves if I wanted to. Sunfall. What? Okay, now I'm really gonna swing hard. Because I can pump. We have lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. +5. Yeah, we have lethal. Okay. Well, since they tapped out, it doesn't really matter. Because we can just use Primal Might to pump up one of our creatures and then swing in. Okay, well, I can never finish my thoughts in these games. Alright, I'm just gonna ignore the hand keep. As I was saying, this is version 3 of the original deck. I went 4-2 with the original version, and I started making changes. I don't know why. You know, you just try and prevent losses, and so you make changes. And we'll get Ozolith down. I ended up basically re-downloading that version from my Untapped profile, and so that's why it's called Green Hydra, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, parentheses 2. What is that? Scorching Dragonfire. Oh, okay. I was a little confused. We'll just run out the elves. Looks like our opponent is on some kind of Teamer or Gruul, like a ramped control deck. One Tyvar's in hand maybe helps us here. Yeah, we're Gruul ramp. That's scary because smugglers can make things get out of hand. Anyways, what are we doing with this current deck? We're 6-2 with this version, and we were 4-2. Well, with this in this stats page, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. I'll play this. Put counters on this. I'm not gonna bother attacking. 1 damage is not worth the potential saving I can do. Elemental. Whoa. That was not what I was expecting. Land drops are not being found right now, which is annoying. I'm trying to play around a Brotherhood's End or a Slag Storm, which deals 3 damage to each creature. So, like, running out these creatures feels so dangerous. I'm just gonna... Maybe I can get them to get rid of that. This, whenever a creature with higher toughness than power enters the battlefield, you look at the top card. If it's a land, you put it onto the battlefield, or you put it in your hand. Hold on to the Pawpatch for the time being, because I don't want it to get slag stormed, as I was saying. But yeah, 6-2 with this, and then 4-2. They're like, the match history is kind of separated because I had to re-download it. So that's 10-4. It's pretty insane. We're getting lucky here. Oh god. I don't know why people don't ever do this at instant speed. It's an instant. Okay, actually that makes a bit more sense now. If you're gonna do it with the Calamity, it makes more sense because then you can have like a haste payoff opponent. Oh my goodness, so many draws. Maybe they'll get the buff with the green shell. 10 or more lands. Gruul, Desert. Deserts was not on my bingo card. Do I save the elves? Ah, no. Goodbye, elf. You served well. 07. Got rid of their Calamity, which is pretty good. Alright, well. If I run this out, We can maybe dodge some targeted removal. I'm gonna do it because I can also just Tyvar stand one of them, and then we can start putting counters on things with Ozolith potentially, which sounds pretty good. Force. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not again. Arid Archway. I guess you can loop the... Or, well, Arid Archway just allows you to have more deserts. Interesting. Alright, well, they might have another removal spell, but if they have another removal spell, they target it again, and I get, like, another set of Pawpatch triggers, so... They did not. We're chilling. Game. Well, I underestimated the power of turtles and a horse. Never again. GG's. Alright, our luck ran out that game. I swear, whenever I talk about the win rate or look at the win rate of a deck, like in the middle of like playing matches, the next match I lose. It's just, it's like a law of nature for me or something. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Probably should have played the Ozolith so we could play the Mossborn Hydra, but running something out there as like a removal target isn't bad either. Could play the Overlord of the Hauntwoods this turn, which I might go ahead and do because our opponent has 2 mana open. I don't really want to do the Springbloom Druid because, well, it has 2 landfall triggers, which is really good with Mossborn Hydra. Top deck a land here, we can play Ozolith and the Hydra. Is it better to play Ozolith and then the Hydra, or Hydra land Ozolith? Though honestly, probably the best thing to do... It doesn't really matter, I don't think. Man, they're gonna kill this Hydra, and it's gonna make me so sad. Or maybe they just play out the demon and we have to block with the Hydra. That would be also really sad. I could play a land and then play the Overlord, but then it's gonna die almost immediately because I have to jump this slasher. Oh man, this card is so annoying. Okay. You win, opponent. You win. Well, the Hydra wasn't with us long, but it will be remembered. Please no removal, no whammies. No demons, no nothing. Just tell me that you have like a duress. That's honestly the best I could have asked for. Please no Liliana. Please no... Ah! So sad. Lily's half her life because why would a black 3-drop ever do anything but just murder you outright? Sorry, I have a lot of pent up disdain for the way the colors are balanced in standard. Because mono green is so bad. The only thing that comes close to it is like blue at its lows. Mono blue is not the best in standard. I will admit to that. I just killed my Overlord, what the heck? I technically have to block it. I'm just dead. Was this thing turn into a 3/3? Yeah, okay. GG's. This is our snap back to reality. Won 3 in a row. Time to lose 3 in a row. Another mono black deck. Duress complete with. Get wrecked. We're playing mono green. Yep. You saw that right. This is also like a really nice creature that has offspring. You can put counters on it. It's a ramp. It synergizes well with some of the things we want to do in the deck. Synergizes well with Ozolith, Tribute to the World Tree. Bye bye. Wait a minute. What if they're out of removal? Think about it. No, they're not. Alright. Bloom-Kin, go. One more removal spell, I run out Hydra. That's not a removal spell, what the heck? Alright, I will ramp with the Overlord, I think. Because next turn I can play out the Bloom-Kin and the Ozolith. And then I'll set us up for like down the road. Maybe I'm too scared at this point. I think I might be playing too scared. Just run out the Hydra if they remove it. We have the Bloom-Kins to beat face. That's probably what I should be doing, but... Perfect. Alright, well... There's actually a way we could have attacked in with the Bloom-Kin if I played out Springbloom Druid instead. Let's play out the other Bloom-Kin, and then next turn we can play out both of these. And I think that gets us into a really good spot. This card, busted. I think that's the one thing that is standard has come around on is Archery in the Dross. Pretty good. As it synergizes, particularly with the addition of Unholy NX, allowing you to drain life and stuff. I think if they don't do anything, we just win with Hydra next turn. Of course, if they kill our creatures here, we're going to start losing life because of the Archfiend. When our creature opponent control dies. Alright, well, I guess I should just give up. What the heck, man? It was all just a fairy tale. Those first 3 games. I was kind of joking about, you know, like losing 3 in a row now. Oh, we're going to take 4 from the Unholy Annex. Need to kill them or this bloodletter. Yeah, that doesn't do it. Ah. Is Llanowar Elves... I was about to dare to say, is Llanowar Elves even good in Standard? It's definitely a good card, but holy man. Green is not saved. We'll keep. We can win, we can win. We can win. We can't win. We can't win. Dang it. Maybe we just needed a Leyline Axe. That's all we're missing. Opponent is on mono white life gain, so they're gonna have bigger creatures than mono green. They're gonna gain so much. Oh, Orzhov life gain. Scratch that. Or they're just gonna drain us out directly. That also is an option. Swing face. Play post combat. No mistakes here. Let's avoid them if we can. But yeah, if you look at the best of one standard win rates, mono red 57.2. This is December 5th. Mono black 53. Oh my goodness, can you stop? 53.7. Mono white 51.0. Mono blue 47.2. Mono green 45.7. Opponent, you're not very fun. Okay. He might be out of removal though, and now I'm a little bit excited because we have a Hydra. We can get this Hydra to 12 power, I think. Which might be lethal. Oh, we can get it bigger than 12. Because now we can put a counter with Bristly Bill before we double. Where's the removal now? Where's the removal now? Counter, counter, double, double. That's a little big. Please no whammies, no removal. Goodbye. Okay, this is very, very awkward hand. Let's just hope our opponent is playing aggro. I don't know, man. I don't really want to mulligan though. We'll just hope this hand's good enough. We have a 1-of Pawpatch Formation. It can destroy creatures with flying enchantments, or it can draw you a card and make a food. Oh no, they're on cats. Anything but the cats. A 1-mana 2/1. One alone is fearsome, among many is unstoppable. They have multiples. They're unstoppable. How can they do this? Control 3 more creatures. The creature gets +1 until end of turn. You gain 1 life. Nice. Surprise! Tribute is actually insanely good. They might not have a lot of removal, so if I can survive like 2 turns, that speeds up our Hydra. The Hydra will enter and then get the tribute counters, so we'll get enter with 3 counters sort of, and then you can play a land and it will go immediately up to 6. And then next turn we can like Overlord or Springbloom Druid and get it going to insane numbers. So we're just gonna hope the Cats deck does not have a ton of removal, but if they're smart, they're playing the 2-mana. Two-mana enchantment that exiles a permanent and gives lifelink. What could it be called? Oh, I don't know. Sheltered by Ghosts. Ah! I stay losing. Spinner of Souls. I think the Hydra is like the only way out of this, so just get it going. I need to top deck like a land, kinda, and just hope that I don't die from lethal damage this turn, which they're gonna do 9, so they just need to do like 2 more, and then if they do, I have to start chump blocking, which kind of stinks. Maybe they want to attack. They are attacking. Oh boy. Maybe we get this back. which would be really cool. They have enough mana to remove both of them if they had like a... Okay, they give us our tribute back. They have not found their lords or like creatures to pump up their cats, which is interesting. That is not a land, which is kind of disappointing. Springbloom Druid, we get counters on it so it can now block things in a nice manner. Double her up. Do I swing in? I think I have to swing in. The reason I say I think I have to swing in is because they're at 29 life. And we need to... I mean, they can't really swing past our creatures, can they? But if they have removal, like Get Lost or Sheltered by Ghost, things get awkward. I'm going to swing in once. The Flanker. Not dead yet, but that is not good. You can double it up to 16, and then we need one more land drop. We'll draw one from the tribute if we play the Overlords. Oh, I forgot. I do have this, which can go ahead and fight. So I don't want to take 3 damage, so I'm going to do that. Dang, there's more cats than I thought. I mean, these are all Foundations cards. But this is not Foundations. Holy. Green is so bad into removal. Particularly counters. It's kind of insane. I will play this, because it will draw me a card. We're outpacing them in mana. So... I don't think I can attack. Like, it's not a great idea to attack at this particular moment. Roaming Throne, that will double trigger their cats. They're going to gain like 4 life. And they're going to get pumped twice. Still can't really attack past. Spinner of Souls, this is a new Foundations card. Just helps you find more creatures if you have non-token creatures that die. I guess I can crack my food. Alright, Overlord, if you die, we get something new, so do something. This might be a bad idea. Probably a bad idea. Opponent did not block. Other cats, you have lifelink. When it enters, create tons. That is insane. This is one of the games where having a land in our hand feels insanely bad. Killing the Throne sounds kind of nice, but I don't want to lose the Spinner of Souls. But if it dies along with something else, I guess I don't lose too bad. We still get the trigger. That's a lot of cats, though. I mean, I can't take the damage as it stands, so I'm just gonna try this. Roaming Throne had lifelink because it's a cat. These are lies. Roaming Throne is not a cat. Draw me a card. Be a big body. That's a freaking land. There's 22 lands in this deck. I'll have you know. We're playing less than 24. Which is like the normal number of lands. They have 7 attackers. We have 4 blockers. So as long as I don't have removal, we're not dead this turn. We'll take 6 damage if we block optimally. Our spider drew us 1 card. I have to say, I'm not a fan of spiders, but this art is pretty cool. Not. So they probably want to attack in with the Caracal, so. Unless it's lethal. Tribute. That's just. Well, now every creature will draw us a card that we play, so. That's something. Can't attack in, because it will die. Not going to make that mistake. Their land is also a cat. The fact this is all creature types makes it quite interesting. Okay, we have a redraw. I think we went through our Pawpatch Formation there, so we're never going to get that enchantment off. Attack this land. We'll actually get to draw 2 with this Pawpatch, which is insane. I didn't even think about that. Because they're going to get counters from 1 tribute. Each one's going to get counters from 1 tribute, and then they're going to be higher than 3 powered so that you draw a card with the 2nd tribute. Holy moly. I like it. We did it. We did it. We got our creature back. I forgot that we could just blow it up. Pay ward 2, because why wouldn't your removal lifelink power pumping enchantment also give you ward? It's a Mossborn Hydra. Let's go. I want to play the Hydra. Should draw me another card. They have 6 creatures. They actually have 7 creatures, and we have a bunch of blockers. So I think I'll go ahead attack in with the Overlord. I think I'll be okay, and then this will double up the number of counters on our Hydras. This is one way we can get an additional land drop. And then next turn, I think we'll have lethal. Not sure, but I can hope. We're doing the green thing, which is lots and lots of creatures and big ones. Opponent, I feel like they drew a bit of a dud without, because they didn't curve out as much as I think you want to do in a typo aggro deck. Alright, I think that will do it for this deck. Hopefully you enjoyed. We ended 8-5, and then if you add the match history from like when I first played this version, 4-2, we ended 12-7, which if I whip out my calculator here, that's 19 total, so 12 out of 19 games, 63% win rate. So not bad, actually quite good for being green. So I think this deck honestly turned out pretty good. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, helps out the channel a ton. Consider checking out our previous video, which was the Dimir Omniscience combo with Reenact Crime. I think I might revisit that because I saw another kind of loop you can do with Omniscience that you can kind of keep entirely in your sideboard, which I think is super cool. But yeah, that's this deck. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Consider watching other videos, subscribing, all that good stuff. And let me know what you think about this deck. I know there's a ton of one-ofs, and I think that will probably trigger some people because if you play 4-ofs, it's more consistent and whatnot. But like, there's cards you don't really want to draw more than one of. Like Tribute, it's not bad in multiples, but if you draw second when you really need a creature, really awkward. Same thing with like Ozolith, Innkeeper's Talent. Hunter's Talent is okay, more okay in multiples, but Nissa, like I don't necessarily need multiples of them. Nissa's effect is pretty nice, but it's not great game breaking. All right, I'm rambling. Have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Ciao.